Open wheel racing dominated the American autosports scene for decades, really up until the mid-1990s. 1996, what's now known as the Split, kart top series at the time, now has to face rival Indy Racing League, started by Tony George. Fans checked out, they didn't know which series they're supposed to watch. Sponsors walked away, kart eventually goes bankrupt. Indy Racing League is hemorrhaging money. The sport really just falls apart. This creates this vacuum. NASCAR rises. Once a kind of southern racing, really regional sport, is now the top autosports racing series. By the early 2000s, whereas the Indy 500 had previously been the top race of the year, it now has 1/3 of the Daytona 500's viewership every year. And then, open wheel racing continued to struggle. The two sides reunified in 2008, but things didn't get better. For a while, it was unclear if anyone would be able to turn around IndyCar. So then in late 2012, IndyCar taps Mark Miles, board member of the parent company of the series, to come in, take over as CEO, and start trying to turn around this series that was once, really an American icon.
Generally speaking, for live sports in this country, especially network broadcasts of sports, they've declined. So I don't think we've declined more than the norms, but we think that's an opportunity. And everything we've done is aimed at reversing that and beginning to climb back up the media ratings for the 500.
I've been in the sport for quite some time now, and I've seen its heyday, I've seen its lowest day, and currently we are on a great path. It's been through a lot of hard work, through a lot of momentum over the years, but now here we are in 2019 with the most competitive form of racing in the world.
People are starting to come back to the Indianapolis 500s. They're starting to remember what made the race and what made the series be so special.
Formerly, the schedule ran until October. End of the season was competing with college football and the NFL. Miles moved the end of the season up. Miles also got rid of the double headers. Miles realized they need to be in as many markets as possible. If you want to reach fans and get new fans who are going to come into the sport, you need to really spread out the sport's reach into those markets.
We're adding new races to the calendar. We had Portland last year, Laguna Seca this year. So everything really is going in the direction that you'd want it to be in, and to be able to be a part of that as a driver has been very cool to witness.
The series also made investments. They put almost $100 million into renovating the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the home of the Indy 500. In addition to that, the series is returning to old locations, racetracks that the series hasn't been at in a decade or two.
Tracks have done a good job in providing those other forms of entertainment to allow people to be interested in being at the event, such as at Indy, you have the manufacturers midway, the garages are opening, along with the fact of having entertainment offerings with concerts. So it's a constantly evolving atmosphere for promoters and stakeholders in the industry that they have to stay with the times, and I think everybody is really doing a great job to promote the sport of racing in the United States and around the world.
The biggest thing Miles needed to fix was the TV. When he took over the job, he was saddled with a television deal that split races between ABC and NBC's cable networks. Fans didn't know where to watch. Any given weekend, you didn't know what network the race was going to be on. And jumping between the networks meant that you weren't always getting race-to-race promotion on those TV channels.
I remember in my first meeting with all the drivers, I heard from the veterans like Dixon and Kanaan and others, hey, fix the TV. We got a great sport and a great product. Not enough people are seeing it. Do more in the way of promotion and get us in front of more sports fans. The sport itself, the competitiveness of the racing, the excitement, compelling nature of the racing has been great. I think it's gotten even better, but it was really a great start.
The biggest move that Miles has made was to sign a new deal with NBC. We're only a few months into the first season of this contract, but it seems to be doing really, really well. Ratings for the first 4 races of the season were up more than 20% over last year. And most recently, you're seeing that viewership trend of the Daytona 500 versus the Indy 500 potentially starting to reverse. Daytona's TV ratings have been falling along with the rest of NASCAR's races, and the Indy 500 seems to be on the verge of a comeback. This year viewership was up over last year, and the expectations are that, with this new TV deal in place, that those numbers will continue to rise.
I think there's been a lot of growth just based on fan viewership, gaining a younger fan base, but it's all come through, I think, our product that we put on the track on race day.
So it's hard to say whether IndyCar is ever going to get back to the heyday of top autosports series, not only in the country, but maybe in the world. However, this is the first time in more than 2 decades IndyCar is heading in the right direction. New owners are coming into the sport, sponsors are coming back, and most importantly, the fans are coming back. And so I think that for the first time in a long time, IndyCar is where it really wants to be.